and then a slight whistle as the breeze blew through the chamber above. Patience. He was in no hurry. He couldn't be, he told himself repeatedly, but his heart argued each time. His friends were out there, all of them, he believed, encased in ice. Preserved, he hoped, for he had witnessed other victims escaping the frozen tombs. But he couldn't be sure. Patience, he told himself, and he tried not to picture Zaknefeinand and Catti-brie and Entreri in their tombs of glistening ice. He reached into his belt pouch and brought forth some food. Persimmons. Persimmons, with a block of curate muskox cheese. Jarlaxle's heart broke as he considered the delicacy, as he thought of Callideh, the city he had left behind only a few days before. The underground society had been everything he had hoped to find, and even more. Weirdly, Callideh had freed him of his fear that, because he was Drow, there was perhaps something wrong about him, something within him that even he could not truly trust. Callideh had shown him that Drizzt was not a fraud, and was not unique among the Drow people. Theories that both the controlling Drow matrons and the prejudiced non-Drow constantly advanced. It was Lolth, not the Drow. That's what he knew to be true now. Always it was Lolth, the deceiver, the corrupter, the tyrant who held Menzoberranzan in her thrall through the punishing zealotry of her matrons. And now, so soon removed from that greatest and most glorious revelation of Callideh, here he was, trapped under the ice, with 3 of his dearest friends possibly dead only a few yards away. Persimmons. Jarlaxle reached into his magical pouch again and produced a bottle of shallow-belly wine. His bracer brought a dagger to his hand, and he flicked off the stopper, then cut into the block of cheese. He toasted Callideh. He toasted Zaknefeinand and Entreri and Catti-brie. And he tasted again the delicacies of Callideh, and let them fill his thoughts and his hopes, and used them to renew his determination that it would not, could not end like this. Not now. Patience. Wrapped in a heavy blanket, Drizzt sat on the chair set on the lawn in back of the monastery of the Yellow Rose, the cold wind sending a flurry of snow dancing wildly in the air all about him. He watched the departing form of Grand Master Cain, and smiled around the edges of his pipe when the old man began moving in what seemed a combination of a dance and pursuit, angling about to catch the large snowflakes on his tongue. Cain was doing that for his benefit, Drizzt knew. Given the discussion they had just concluded, one convened over a particularly flavorful herb in the pipe Cain had brought for Drizzt. Cain had spoken about the various ways in which people trap themselves in their own narrow vision, of how they let worries of what might be, or what might come to be, rob them of so much of their lives. Like the snowflake-catching dance, the Grand Master was teaching. He was always teaching. "Where are you, my love?" Drizzt asked the wind. He was facing north in his chair, and his mind's eye took him out beyond his vision, took him to places of perpetual snow and cold, almost as if he might imagine to reality an image of Catti-brie, Jarlaxle, Entreri, and Zaknefeinand sitting about a blazing fire, sharing tales and laughing at their day's grand adventure. The flurry at the monastery lessened soon after. One area of clouds off in the north, parting just enough for Drizzt to note some of his favorite star formations. He let his entire being fall into that distant cluster of twinkling lights, in that moment achieving complete meditation. He came out of it smiling, thinking of his many star-filled nights on Kelvin's cairn in Icewind Dale. How many times had he thought a friend lost, or had his friends thought him lost? Undoubtedly, one day those fears would prove true. Undoubtedly. It was the reality the companions of the Hall had all accepted years ago, decades ago, a lifetime ago, quite literally for the other.